Hello students, welcome to the next part of our chapter on chromatography. The next term under concept of chromatography is reference standard. It's a chemical substance or drug substance which has highest purity. It is not intended to use as a drug. According to USP, reference standard is defined as highly characterized physical specimen which is used to ensure the identity, strength, quality and purity of medicines, dietary supplements and food ingredients. And the medicines include drugs, biologics and excipients. According to FDA, these are specifically prepared authentic materials of the highest purity used for structural elucidation and benchmark from working standard. The next term, that is the uses of reference standard. Reference standard is generally used during method validation. It is used for calibration of instruments, example potassium dichromate, which is used for calibration of UV spectrophotometer. It is also used in all phases of drug development. It is used to characterize working standard or calibration of working standard. Now this reference standard is synthesized independently and it is available in very less quantity. Reference standard, which is also denoted as RS, are generally obtained and prepared from USPNF. In India, the Central Drug Laboratory is responsible for making the reference standards available. And as I told you earlier, reference standards are the drug substances of highest purity. Now that purity of reference standard is not less than 99.5%. Quality of reference standard is highly characterized by spectral techniques like UV, NMR, mass and using official tests and specifications. Reference standards are therefore very expensive as compared to working standard. The next term is working standard. This is also called as in-house standard or secondary standard. Please remember, this working standard is prepared from reference standard. It is a standard that is qualified against and used instead of the reference standard. Its purity is not less than 95%. Coming to the next important term, that is internal standard. Earlier we have seen the various methods of quantitative analysis by chromatography. We have learned the method of quantitation using peak height, using peak area. We have also seen the methods like area normalization technique, calibration curve method, standard addition method. These all methods we have learned. Now this is one of the quantitation method, that is internal standard method under chromatography. Let us know more about this method. The method of internal standard is used to improve the precision of quantitative analysis. It can be used with either the calibration curve or standard addition method. Internal standard is a known compound which is different from the analyte and it is added in known amount to both sample and standard solution at a known concentration in order to provide a basis for comparison in quantitation. Signal from analyte is compared with signal from standard to quantify the analyte. Internal standard is a substance or compound that is very similar but not identical to the chemical species of interest in the sample. It should have completely different retention time than the components of sample. Its retention time should not be too far from the components of interest. It should be used similar in concentration to the components of interest. And it must be chemically inert, and it should be easily available and cost effective. So these are the characteristics of the drug substance which can be used as internal standard. Now what are the advantages of this internal standard method? Errors involved during dilutions, like errors associated with apparatus and instrument, errors while injecting the sample, can be eliminated, which leads to higher accuracy. Concentration ratio is not dependent on injection volume, so this method compensates for injection volume errors. What are the disadvantages of this method? Availability of internal standard. As we have seen earlier, there are many characteristics of any drug substance to be chosen as internal standard. So this is altogether a different substance which we will be adding in the analytical standard and in the sample. So this third substance should have the retention time close enough to the retention time of the standard and the sample. Otherwise we will be keep on waiting for the illusion of internal standard itself. Okay, so such internal standard, such drug should be available. Then this should be soluble in the solvents which we have used while developing the method for any particular drug. uh, for its analysis, we try many solvents according to the solubility of that particular drug in the solvent. Now, the third substance which we will be adding in the sample and standard solution, this third substance should also be soluble in the solvent which we have used during method development. And also, in addition to its availability and solubility, it should be inert in nature. It should not react with the components present in the sample or standard. This is the HPLC instrument. The schematic diagram I have taken from this source on the internet. Let us say I have this sample with me. Now when I call any solution as sample, that means I do not know its concentration. So if such sample I inject into the HPLC column, the sample components will pass through the column, and one by one the components will elute out and pass over the detector. Detector will detect them. Now let us assume that in my sample there is only one component, and whatever peak or whatever chromatogram I get, that chromatogram has only one peak into it, and this is my chromatogram for sample. I have second solution with me, and that second solution is the analytical standard which I am using for the analysis of this particular sample. Now this analytical standard, I am calling this substance or this solution as a standard. Why? Because I know its concentration. So this standard solution, when I inject into HPLC column, I get a chromatogram for my standard solution also. Now I can see two different peaks in front of me. So in normal situation, when all the parameters, all the instrument related parameters, apparatus related parameters like temperature of the column, flow rate of injection, then the flow rate of mobile phase, if all these parameters are controlled properly, then in that case I can directly use the earlier methods like height of the peak, which is directly proportional to concentration, or area under the curve, which is directly proportional to concentration. I can use any of this method of quantitations for determining the content of drug in the sample. But in some cases, when there are some errors associated with apparatus, or or if there are some manual errors, so in such cases, this internal standard method help us to compensate for those errors. Now how it is done? Now in addition to these two solutions, I should have one more solution which is called as internal standard solution. Let us see more about it. So these are my two solutions, and in addition to these I have one more vial with me, and in this vial there is internal standard solution. Again, I am calling this solution as internal standard. So standard means I know its concentration. So its concentration is known to me. Then I am adding a known quantity of this internal standard solution into analytical standard, and I am adding a known quantity of internal standard into sample solution. Now we will inject the sample solution in the HPLC column, and what we get is the chromatogram for the sample solution, which is now a mixture of sample plus internal standard. So I am getting two peaks in my chromatogram. One is representing the sample component and another which is representing the internal standard. Same way, in the second run, I will be injecting the standard solution which has been mixed with internal standard, and the chromatogram which I get is again having two peaks. One peak represents the analytical standard and the another peak represents the internal standard present into it. Now the areas of these peaks will be calculated, and ratio of the area will be then considered while calculating. Here we can see I have taken this particular image from the source which is given on the slide. So ratio of the peak areas and concentration ratios will be plotted, and using calibration curve method the content of the drug present in the sample can be calculated. Calibration involves plotting the ratio of the analyte signal to the internal standard signal as a function of the analyte concentration of the standards. Thank you for paying attention. We will meet again with selectivity factor and capacity factor in my next videos. Thank you. Have a nice day.